On live here. And another edition of Kings of the North podcast. We are live and in studio with our co-host Travis Rodriguez for the first time all season long. He's been calling via the phone, being a tough guy with our picks and whatnot, but we are here again for a rapid fire edition of our Kings of the North podcast. Travis, what's good, brother? Nice to see you.
Yes, glad to be back home in the cities. Typically I'm calling from Brainerd, but now I can outpick you in the cities where we grew up, and I'm excited for it.
Certainly, and just a little background on us. We grew up here, Twin Cities, went to high school together, good buddies, and Packer Vikings fans, and we've attended a Brett Favre game together back in the day.
For the Vikings, 09.
Yep, and we've kind of been back and forth rivals ever since, talking smack, and this is the podcast, and we're also live on Periscope here. So it's good to have you here, Travis, and we'll get into these picks here. So what do you think?
Well, I'd like to say that the reason I can chat with you about football is because you're not an ignorant football fan for the most part, whereas most other Packers fans I really can't communicate with. So we got that going for us, and I feel like that's why we can do these types of things together without wanting to fight each other. So that's a good thing. But yes, let's do our pick'ems, even though you're up 5 now.
Yep, I'm +5, and I can definitely agree with you there. There's a certain crowd of Vikings fans too, where it's like.
Well, I was talking about Packers, but
yeah, I know.
I hear you.
But there's a certain crowd of Vikings fans, and I could name names, but.
We'll shy away from that.
Certainly, the Mark Schultenovers in the world, if you're listening.
Or the Ken Kings.
Be tough to have on the podcast. So,
tough.
Anyways, those are just some buddies, some shout-outs there. But we'll get going here with our pick'ems. Started off Los Angeles Rams at the Seattle Seahawks. I think we're both kind of in agreement on this one.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to go Seahawks, even though off the top loss in Green Bay. I feel like the Seahawks are a cold weather team if it's raining. If it's snowing, I feel like they're a whole new team, and that's why they got their asses kicked by your lovely Packers. But the Rams firing Jeff Fisher, not really much of an offense. I'm going to go Seahawks all day.
Yeah, I do have a funny feeling about this one. Let me just say that right now. I think just because of the firing of Jeff Fisher, maybe the Rams show up and make it a competitive game and somehow sneak out a W, but I'm going Seattle. We'll stick with Seattle on this at home, and they still got playoff hopes, but don't be surprised if the Rams come out on top on this one.
Probably a safe bet.
We'll scoot out onto Miami at the New York Jets. Miami, obviously, tough loss with Brian Tannehill. And then Jets kind of look like a completely deflated team. I got Miami in this one just strictly because they look like crap and they can't stop the run. Ajayi's going to have a heyday, and Matt Moore should be able to at least be efficient, take care of the ball. He'll be all right.
Yeah, I agree. First Saturday edition of football this year. If it was Tannehill was in, I'd think it'd be a deadlock. But with him being out, it makes it interesting. But I'm still going to go Dolphins on the road in New York.
Yep, makes sense there. Green Bay, traveling on to Chicago, Windy City. Should be cold, should be windy.
Yeah.
Who would have thought? But you know who I'm going with, obviously. Got to go with my pack.
Well, maybe if it was Halloween, based off your hunches, beginning of the year, I might choose the Bears, but I'm going to go Packers. The offense is heating up, and the Bears' defense isn't what you would think it used to be back in the day. And, yeah, obviously I'm going to go with Packers on this one. And I want Packers to win to make next week, when we're both tied at 8-6, a lot more interesting.
Yeah, it could be interesting. Bears defense ain't all too bad, but Packers tore them apart last time. We faced Barkley last time after Horton went down or whoever. I don't even know his name. Down.
Hoyer,
Hoyer. Hoyer,
Clay
Horton.
actually took him out with his face mask on that Thursday night game, I believe.
But either way, we didn't have to face Cutler this year, and you guys kind of got stuck in that Halloween game, and
yep.
I'm glad we didn't have that situation. But we'll move on to we got Jacksonville traveling to Houston. This is one I have not filled out yet myself. Would you like me to go forward on this one?
Well, you are first.
Since I'm in the lead by 5 games.
No, but you're first on this. What we do is we switch off every other game, so we're not like basically picking the other person's pick if we have the lead like Joe does. I know who I'm going to go with, but it's Joe's turn to go first.
Yeah, this is a tough one. Houston, haven't done it for me all year. Osweiler, we've been, both of us, hating on, and for good reason, because he sucks. So, with that being said, Blake Bortles hasn't really done a whole lot better, but maybe he takes care of the ball this week, and I'm going Jax, I guess. It's tough, but
yeah, I call Brock Osweiler Brock Assweiler. He's not good, and this was an automatic for me. Just, the Jaguars' defense, they're decent, and the Houston's offense, I would say, is worse than the Vikings. And I just watched all of Jacksonville versus Minnesota last week, so I'm going Jacksonville as well. I was hoping there'd be a difference.
Yeah, I was thinking you might go Houston on that one. I was trying to see.
So
they just came off with a decent W there
at Houston, at Indy, but they still don't impress me, and Indy doesn't impress me. And I would choose Jacksonville, so that's what I'm doing. I'm choosing Jacksonville. I don't care.
All right, we'll roll with it. Cleveland, Buffalo. We'll move on. Philadelphia and Baltimore.
Fair. I thought about it. Maybe if it was in Cleveland, I would think about it a little bit more. But yeah, Buffalo.
I'll just save you that pain right there, and we'll just move on. Philadelphia at Baltimore. Well, I got Baltimore. I mean,
Baltimore's
already got
coming off a tough loss against the Patriots. If it wasn't for Baltimore's special teams, I feel like that game would have been a blowout last night with Patriots and Baltimore. But, Baltimore's kind of like, I don't know if you'd call them the Vikings of the AFC. Like, great defense, decent offense. The only thing is we have a better coach, I would say, even though Hobbart's proved himself with the Super Bowl. But I don't know. I'm obviously going to go Baltimore in this one.
I don't know. I could make an argument for Philadelphia here. It depends what Philadelphia team shows up. If they're taking care of the ball, running the ball. It looks like Matthews, I don't know what happened there, but it looks like he's going to be the main guy this week with Sproles getting injured and Smallwood suffering some sort of injury. I don't even know, but both going Baltimore here.
Yeah,
Baltimore, good home team. And actually, Joe Flacco quietly making I wouldn't say a statement, but if you look at his numbers, he's just doing what he needs to do, I guess.
It's kind of been Baltimore's identity since they drafted him. I mean, they're kind of like the Giants of the AFC in that perspective. They make their way in the playoffs, and then when they get in the playoffs, they're the real deal. So I think they'll find a way to make the playoffs this year as a wild card, and again, they'll be the real deal. So
yeah, either way, should be a good game there. We'll see. Maybe some weather could make it interesting, but we'll move on. Tennessee at Kansas City. This is the other one I didn't have slated out yet. I'll go first here. I've been riding Tennessee all season long, as has Travis, but Kansas City obviously heating up their defense, playing some good ball, and it's at home. I just feel like it's hard to pick the Tennessee Titans here. Mariota had a tough game this past week, tough matchup against the Denver Broncos, and Kansas City, pretty similar team, being its AFC West opponent, and I think similar results here.
Yeah. I think if it was switched and Tennessee was at home, I'd go with them. But unfortunately, for like the 8th straight time, I'm going to have to agree with you and go with Kansas City. Even though I'm riding Tennessee's bandwagon, but I don't know. At home, Tennessee's offense versus Kansas City's defense. I don't know. I think Kansas City's going to win. I think so.
Yeah, they're just playing good ball right now, and Travis Kelce kind of merging to that Rob Gronkowski-esque tight end play that we've kind of been waiting to see out of him, that they've been amping up the last few years, and we've seen glimpses, but we haven't seen consistency. Now he's coming 4 straight 100-yard games, and then obviously the emergence of Tyreek Hill, Spencer Ware running the ball well, and Alex Smith is playing good ball.
He's a game manager and then some. He's
Yeah,
doing his job and then
but
some.
he has stretched the field the last couple of weeks
Right.
and looked more of a QB Aaron Rodgers like. Even I'll make comparison. The same year, draft year, obviously they passed on Aaron Rodgers and went with Alex Smith in San Fran, and then now he's there. But he's shown glimpses of that, and I think now they're giving him a little more reign in that offense because it's showtime now. It's December, and you got to make plays, and they're throwing the ball down the field. Macklin's back. He didn't get a whole lot of action last week, but
well, Tyreek Hill will take care of Macklin's spot anyway. But yeah, Kansas City's going to win it. If it was in Tennessee, I'd probably pick the Titans, but the way Kansas City played against Oakland last week, sound ball.
it's like a hot team and got to roll with the hot hands. So
Right.
we'll move on. Detroit traveling to the Giants. I got New York Giants. I'll just say it now, and you can do with it as you want.
Yeah.
But obviously, NFC North fan here hoping for a Detroit loss. New York Giants showed up against the Cowboys on Sunday night, and I'm just going to roll with them and hope for the best. And you can take the risky pick with Detroit and Stafford with a little finger injury, or roll with the Giants. And
Well, yeah, that's like about 4 in a row for you to pick first. Just throw that out there. But yeah, I'm picking the Giants as well. As a Vikings fan, I want Detroit to lose, and the Giants defense matches up well with the Lions offense, in my opinion. So,
well, we'll move on to India and Minnesota. You already know I got to pick against the Vikings. I guess I don't really have a whole lot to say about it, but maybe Andrew Luck gets hot. Their O-line's kind of garb. Defense is middle of the pack. I don't even know. Probably can stop your guys' run and force you guys to stretch the field and do some sort of whatever you guys do there on offense. I honestly haven't even paid attention to the Vikings the last couple of weeks. I kind of watched a little bit of that Dallas game. You guys show glimpses of like greatness on offense, but I haven't seen like a full 4 quarters.
yeah, I think with us, it's either one day we'll get in the red zone and then F it up somehow, or the next day we can't even find the red zone. But I think we're going to score on their defense because they're not very well, and their offensive line is actually worse than ours, which is tough to think about, but it is. And I think our defensive line is heating up with B-Rob and Everson Griffin, Sack Daddy, and I think they're going to make Andrew Luck's life a little miserable on Sunday. So I'm going, obviously, the Vikings.
Yeah, I could see that. I could definitely make an argument for you guys as well. Your defense good, should take care of their offensive line and should be able to get to Andrew Luck a lot. Just got to basically shut down Frank Gore and let Rhodes shut down he's probably going to be on Moncrief because Hilton's more like the slot guy, and then Newman, I guess, and whoever over the top. You don't got Harry Smith, so Sandejo.
Yeah, we got them on the defensive end.
You guys will be all right, but we'll go on here. We got Pittsburgh, Cincinnati. Travis, I'll let you touch on these.
At Cincinnati makes me think about it a little bit. I got Tyler Eifert in fantasy since Gronk went down, and he was my guy that I picked up. I really want to go Bengals, but I'm probably going to go Pittsburgh, so.
Yeah, I mean, obviously with Le'Veon Bell just going off, and he's just like, the way he runs the ball, I want to say Barry Sanders, like, because it's not quite the same, but just the patience he shows, and then just like quick, whatever he's got is so effective, and the vision, I suppose. I don't know what to say, but he's so patient, and then he'll just hit it and he can make guys miss at the line, and then he can just, it's magic, and it looks pretty. And if there's any weather in this game that favors him, because he's clearly shown that in the snow, those guys, you basically got one movement there, and if you're not on, you're going to be missing. And Le'Veon Bell can be real patient and just force them to make a move, and then he'll counter it and do his thing. So
the thing with Bell is, you said it towards the middle of your comment, is it's his vision, because patience is different than vision in my opinion. Jerick McKinnon has patience. He waits behind the line of scrimmage, but then he starts fluking around, which Barry Sanders was great at. Like, he could fluke around and make people miss and make that big play, which Jerick wants to be, but he's not. Whereas Le'Veon Bell kind of moves his feet, hangs tight, finds the right hole, and shoots it. And that's I think it's better vision than a lot of players have ever had in NFL history. He's got the greatest vision I've seen in a long time. Whereas, like, McKinnon and Sanders got that weight, jukey type mentality with, that's the way I see it as far as the difference in those two guys.
Well said. And Ben Roethlisberger doesn't have a good game. He had, I believe, under 200 yards and 3 interceptions last week, and they were still able to pull it off in Buffalo.
Right.
And
in Buffalo, too, which is nuts.
And this is at Cincy. Cincy, a better home team, but they're pretty garbage as well. I think
sliding downhill this year.
Yeah, they definitely did not live up to any expectations.
First year without Dalton, they won't be in the playoffs.
Yep. So, we've been in agreement on every game here. So
except the Vikings.
Well, the Vikings.
Since you're just a hater, but you're basically taking the L on that one. But I think a couple here will start to get interesting.
These are the big games here as we get down the line. We got New Orleans at Arizona, kind of the tale of two teams that were supposed to be
here. They ended up here.
Yeah,
both of them.
Arizona's defense didn't play up to its capabilities. Offense, same way. Carson Palmer not showing that MVP-like swagger like he was last year. And New Orleans, just like Drew Brees was hot, and the offense was looking good for the most part of the season until the last couple weeks. And I think teams are starting to figure him out. But do you like me to take a pick here?
I'll go for it since you had like 5 or 4 in a row, and this is probably like third for me. I don't know why, but I've kind of been... Well, I know why, actually. I've been on the Saints bandwagon all year, and Drew Brees has basically got me a first-round bye in my fantasy league, and now it's my first week of playoffs this week. Thankfully, Drew Brees has had 2 bad weeks the last 2 weeks where they didn't really mean much to me. I had the first-round bye on lock. This week he's going to go off, and he's going to take apart the Cardinals. Patrick Peterson will probably lock down whoever, but... That's the thing about the Saints and Breeze. They got about 3 other receivers. So I'm shooting for Breeze to have a big game. I need him to go for fantasy. Big league for me. And they got the little Ingram Hightower 1-2 punch there going. I don't know. I'm just going with the Saints. I've been riding them all year, even though they've kind of hurt me, but I'm going with them.
All right. Well, I'll roll with Arizona then. I'll take the home squad. And hope for Palmer to get it going against that Saints defense that is obviously a question mark every week. They got some young talent and whatnot, and maybe they get some pieces in this offseason and whatnot with their low draft pick. But I'll just, to be different, roll with Arizona because this one was a toss-up for me.
Mint.
And we will roll with that as we move into the 49ers at the Atlanta Falcons. I'm assuming you're going to go Falcons there.
Yeah.
Because I'm going the Falcons there. And
as much as I would love for both of our cases as Vikings and Packers fans, I would love the Falcons to lose. But, yeah. You just with the 49ers, Chip Kelly, who knows, he'll be a coach next year. Kaepernick's actually done really well besides the last week or two. But when he came back, man, he was on fire. And I don't like the guy.
I mean, a good matchup for Kaepernick. Capper douche. I don't know. I don't like him. But at the same time, Atlanta's offense is too good. We saw Bilal Powell.
Even without Jones and Sanu last week, they destroyed, I forget who they played.
The Jets.
They destroyed them.
Don't matter. Bilal Powell went off on the 49ers.
Yeah.
Bilal Powell. So.
No, who did the Falcons play last week?
I don't even know.
Yeah, but whoever. I mean, I had
Los
Jones
Angeles Rams.
and just destroyed them. That's why Fisher got fired. Destroyed them without their top 2 receivers. And then you got Gabriel and Freeman and Colvin just going off. And Their offense is really tough to deal with, and there's a few defenses in the league that could stop the Falcons, in my opinion, and my squad is one of them. So
Falcons are one scary team this year, so we'll concur on that. And we'll roll New England at the Denver Broncos. And I guess I'm going on this one. So you can kind of make an argument for both teams here. Obviously, the Broncos' offense is what concerns me, being
at home though.
Yeah, being that they just don't move the ball well. I mean, I guess like they show glimpses here and there from what I've seen with Demaryius Thomas and Sanders, but their quarterback is not able to stretch the field all that well. But it is in Denver, and I mean Tom Brady's hot, but the Patriots kind of got things locked up, and I think I'm gonna roll with Denver on this one. Just being they're the home squad, they got a good D, but certainly could make an argument for the Patriots. Tom Brady MVP type year, despite being out 4 games, and their defense plays good ball. So, what are you going with here?
I'm going with the Patriots. Actually, I was doing that playoff ESPN simulator, and the next 3 games, I see the Broncos just losing out and going 8-8. Their defense is good, but it's their pass defense. Their rush defense is very mediocre at best. And they don't know who their quarterback is, whether it's Paxton or Seaman or Simeon. I don't see it being well. And the Patriots are the Patriots. They don't have the first seed locked up yet. Once they get that, then they'll rest. They don't have it, so they're going to go hard. Patriots all the way. Absolutely. I don't care what city it's in. This isn't last year's Patriots. Or Broncos, excuse me.
Yeah, I could see it definitely going the Patriots' way. They're hot right now. Obviously just tore up the Baltimore Ravens, but I just have a feeling that Denver at home, that's kind of time for them to have that game, kind of like the Packers did last week against a premier opponent.
Figure it out.
The Seahawks, they need to figure it out, and I think they'll do that. We got Oakland at San Diego. You can go ahead and talk on this one.
Yeah, I mean, I've been on both bandwagons all year, actually, with the Raiders and Chargers, and I think the Chargers are better than their record says. They've been hurt with injuries all year. Keenan Allen, Danny Woodhead, Melvin Gordon, and somehow they find themselves in games, and they're like the complete opposite of the Detroit Lions. They find a way to lose games in the fourth, whereas the Lions find ways to win games. At home, Raiders coming off a tough loss against Kansas City. I'm going to go Chargers. This is kind of my game to gain one on you is what I'm hoping.
Yeah.
Because I'm pretty sure you're going to choose the Raiders.
I was just going to go with the opposite with you on this one. I had the Raiders written down, but since you're going San Diego, then we're good to go anyways.
Mint.
If you were going to go Oakland, I was going to go San Diego for that simple fact that the Raiders
I think they're
might
like
be
a fluky,
cooling off.
They're
Yeah,
a fluky team on mine.
Exactly.
I mean, this is their year to like say they're relevant. But after that, I don't see them even like making the AFC Championship. Like I don't.
Yeah, no.
They got time to grow, and they're going to be
Kansas-
something to deal with real soon in the NFL. But not this year. I don't see it.
Kansas City kind of wrote the recipe the other night, and
showed them who's boss.
Yeah, and Carr's banged up. I was riding the Raiders hard, but I mean, I'm going to go with the Raiders here just to be different. And since we're different in the pick'em, I could definitely make a case. I had Oakland written down originally, and then you kind of convinced me. But I'll stick with Oakland Raiders here because it's at
Mint.
It's at San Diego, but it's literally a hop, skip, and a jump down the road. So there'll be Raiders fans in abundance there.
Absolutely.
And Latavius Murray should be able to get the job done. No Melvin Gordon.
Fantasy.
Should be just fine for the Raiders. They should be able to bounce back, and should be a good game too. Either way. So Philip Rivers. I feel bad for the guy because he's kind of the Dan Marino of...
Deserves a ring, if not a shot. I mean, but like you said, Dan Marino did way more than he did, so I guess that shuts that down. But the guy's a good quarterback, and if it wasn't for him, he'd be on the Giants. But Eli.
Yes, sir. So we'll move on. We got Tampa Bay at Dallas. And obviously Tampa Bay playing some good ball. Their defense starting to come around a little bit. Jameis Winston got some weapons there. Cameron Brate, the tight end position, able to be at least decent efficiency with Doug Martin, Sims, and then obviously Mike Evans.
Connor Bray,
whatever the hell his name is. And do you want to go on this one, or is it my turn?
That doesn't matter. What do we got?
Tampa Bay at Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah, I mean, I want the Tampa Bay Bucks to lose, and I don't know. At this point, go Cowboys, because I want the Bucks to lose. I'm not fighting for a Cowboy spot. I'm fighting for a Bucks spot. So, F the Bucks, go Cowboys, and go with the Cowboys.
All right, he's rolling Cowboys, and I guess I'll take Tampa Bay on this one. Like I said, their defense is starting to come around. I think the Giants just wrote the recipe for kind of shutting them down. Well, actually, maybe the Vikings wrote the recipe, and the Giants executed.
The Giants zimmered them, is what PA said yesterday or Monday.
Yeah, the Vikings.
Or today or Monday. So
the Vikings wrote the recipe.
Mint.
And the Giants executed it. And now
we executed it too. We had 2 bad offensive plays. Don't even go there with me. Rudolph dropped a touchdown. Thielen fumbled a punt. Our defense owned them. We wrote the recipe. They got zimmered by the Giants because the Giants have a better offense than we do. Don't go there.
All right. Well, I got Tampa.
Yeah, cool.
Carolina, Monday Night Football, Washington Redskins. I would just, based on the season, go Washington, but these Monday night games have been funky, and it's hard for me to kind of side either way. Obviously, Carolina has been a disappointment, but
I feel like they're 1 week they're the team they were last year, and then the next week they're the Bears of the NFC. So I don't know. You can choose whoever you want. I know who I'm going with, and I don't care who you choose. It's not going to persuade me, so I'm going to go with who I'm going with.
What are they down? Luke Kuechly as well?
I don't know. He might be coming back from his concussion, but that doesn't even mean nothing to me. I'm not sold on the Redskins. I think they're sorry, and I don't like you now, Kirk Cousins. I don't like you. How you like me now, and I want you to lose because you beat us, and if you lose one and we win one, we're above you in the playoffs. So I'm going Panthers. I don't care who you go with, but I'm going Panthers.
You're going Panthers. Well, I was kind of going Washington's way, but I was seeing how Carolina could come and be spoiler right now, and I like their chances. If it was at Carolina, I would probably sway that way, but being it's at Washington, I will stick with them. And
Mint.
So now we got a couple differences here. I'm +5. We got, I think, 5 games different. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So, 6 with Arizona.
Could be tied, or no, I'd be up 1.
You could be +1 at the end of the week here.
Absolutely.
So we'll see how it goes. Cheers for the best. And by the way, I just want to say for anybody listening, you might listen to all these experts and whatnot, but our picks have been pretty damn good this year. As far as percentage-wise, I've had week 13-3. I've had 15-1.
You did.
So you can listen to all these experts all you want, but all I'm saying is try and pass the word on that these guys are picking games, and we're picking them pretty damn good. Travis as well. I mean, we're pretty much neck and neck, but we have...
Just last week, you destroyed me, and that's why you're up 5. I was up 1 last week, and he got 7 games on me, so that's why he's up 5.
But I think we've only had really 1 bad week. We've only picked 5 or 6 games wrong a week.
And then there was 1 week where we had, collectively a bad week. We just didn't do well.
But that was a week solid. Everybody had a bad week.
Right.
That was that fluky Thanksgiving Day weekend, I believe.
Absolutely.
So I just want to say for everyone listening, we do our research. We watched a lot of football. We know our shit. So follow us, Kings of the North podcast on Podbean. We're on Twitter, Dirty Joe, and we also got Travis J6438. So hit us up. I'm Dirty Joe. That's 2 R's and 2 T's on Twitter. Holler at us, and we will be previewing some games here, NFC Northwise here soon, and just keep posted and keep listening and pass the word on, because we appreciate it. Thanks for listening.
Skull.